and thanks for coming, and please meet her if you have any more questions. We have about 3 or 4 more speakers before we start the award initiatives, and I think one of the speakers has just walked in also. Charming, yeah. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay. You're welcome to the Africa4u. Thanks for joining us today. Shaman will be telling you a bit more about her initiatives a bit later. Now, I want to bring on another young lady. Her name is Naseleli, and she's going to be speaking about the importance of communicating our ideas as Africans in the diaspora. That's a very, 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 very profound topic. Give her a big hand of applause.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gents.
Good evening.
I'm one of those people that I have to have my notes, but I see everyone else is standing here with their notes, so I'm going to do the same. So let's see how this goes. My name's Nasilele Ilola. I'm from Zambia. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm one of these people that's done lots and lots of things. I think life is an experience. Try out as much as you can, and I've been lucky, sometimes unfortunate, depending on which direction your luck goes, but, life is an experience. The things that I'm very, very passionate about in my life is my business, which is revolves around doing lots and lots of things online, which are about communicating through social media, through marketing, and through the writing that I do for myself and other people as a copywriter. And along the way, through life, I've done other things in other venues like volunteering as well. And coming here today and listening to all these wonderful people and meeting all of you, it just reinforces that passion, that African pride. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, Tony. Please give him a round of applause because this is wonderful. I'm really, really thankful that you managed to bring community together in the way that you do, not just for the sake of let's party, let's get together. It's when you're in a room together at these events with Tony. The last one I was at the House of Parliament. You tend to feel a sense of revolution, a sense of wanting to give back to your community, a sense of wanting to get up. David Smith as well, what you said was very, very poignant, and I think we should all walk away asking ourselves, how can I create jobs for at least 10 people back where I come from? And the other thing about these events, which Tony does, is as a Zambian myself, I'm not just here for Zambia, I'm not just here as a Zambian, I'm here as an African, and I'm here with my Nigerian sisters, my Malawian brothers. It brings us together, and I think that's a wonderful thing, and that's one direction that we should be aiming to go into as well. I'm going to look at my notes for one moment because I don't want to miss out anything important. Yeah, it was mostly just about the pride that I was talking about. I'm coming from a young perspective. I've always done things which involve the youth. I wouldn't like to call myself a youth ambassador or anything like that. That's a bit big-headed, but from a youth perspective, encouraging that pride and that desire for us to tell the next generation and to inspire them and to encourage them. As a youth and as a person that works with young people, I think, again, things like this are important. From my experience growing up in this country, in the diaspora, I wasn't always as proud to be African. I don't know if any of you can relate. When I was growing up in Coventry, I had lots and lots of Caribbean friends, lots of English friends, and there was this stigma attached to being African. There was this thing, I didn't want to admit it. A lot of us were pretending to be Caribbean. Yeah, but no, honey, you're not Jamaican, you're not Jammu, you're African. And it took me a long time to develop that pride, and I think certainly in these days when we're doing things back at home and we're putting ourselves back on the map, we are teaching our young brothers and sisters. My little sister, who has had moments where she was just like me and I had to just cut that out. No, you know, you are Zambian, you know, you should be proud of where you're from. And you should always carry that mentality of wanting to understand your culture, your history, because we have a lot of things to be proud of, but we're still going, we're still building, but there's no reason why we cannot be number one on the map, and we are. So that's very, very important for the youth, and I really, really corroborate with you, Rijola, when you were saying, do we want our youths to grow up, you know, successful and brilliant? Yes, we do, and it starts from our younger brothers and our sisters and our children. So continuing to educate, to encourage, and to build platforms upon which we can celebrate the wonderful things that we're doing. I think that's something that should continuously be encouraged. So kudos to you, Tony, and kudos to everybody else that's also doing that. One project that has inspired me was in this country. I've in some of the voluntary work I've been working with outreach teams, working with homeless people, working with people that are living on the streets of London, and supporting day centres and things like that. And it's terrible. You walk down a lot of streets in London, you see someone skipping on the road. It's really, really, really sad. And most of the time when I'm sitting in day centres and I'm giving out clothes and I'm watching the people queuing up for food, I'm thinking, they are so lucky. We're so lucky that we have these things in this country. I would love to do something like this in Zambia, because often I see the worst thing when I go back home. I see old people, I see children begging on the streets, and unfortunately we're not so lucky to have so many initiatives like that to try and direct people in different directions. So, you know, things like that, when you're doing whatever you're doing here, I think it's important to have somewhere in the back of your mind, how can I assist back home as well, or what can we do? So in keeping with the whole theme of what we've been discussing tonight, I just wanted to just say, you know, we are working really, really, really well. It's not like we're not making progress. One of the most amazing places to be in this world now is Africa. I love it. I'm sure you all love going back home. I get jealous every time someone says I've come back from home. I'm like, damn, why didn't you take me? But yeah, so let's just keep on doing what we're doing. Let's not just celebrate for the sake of celebrating. Let's, you know, really, really get together. I believe in Ubuntu. I don't know if you know what that means, Ubuntu. Yes, and it's something that's close to my heart. It's about, you know, knowing when your brother or your sister or someone down the road, you know, you don't consider them a stranger. They are your brother or your sister. If you see them in need, you point them in the right direction. You don't walk past. And it starts as small as that. You don't have to do nothing massive in the world. You can start off with a small action. So I carry that message of Ubuntu. And I believe, Tony, you know, whether subconsciously or consciously, you're definitely carrying that. So, you know, once again, thank you so much, and thank you all for listening. Let's keep communicating.